Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Chances are you're watching this video on the weekend because I purposely wait for the weekend to publish these videos because that's always when Dua is running sales and promotions on their website. Today we're going to be talking about 10 boozy fragrances by the Dua brand that I think you should definitely try or that you certainly should know about. I'm excited to let you know what these 10 fragrances are, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin today's video and I tell you about these 10 boozy fragrances by the Dua brand, we have some margarita-based fragrances, some cognac, some brandy, some whiskey. We have a lot of booze happening in this video. I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. Links for all of these are going to be down below. They are not affiliate links. I don't make any commission from you making purchases from the brand. I just wanted to highlight some boozy fragrances from the brand. I've actually done a video like this not too long ago based off of their gourmand releases. So these really sweet, edible, delicious fragrances, and they have quite a number of them. So today we're just focusing on the boozy creations, and with that, let's just go ahead and get it started. Now, truth be told, I do wear some of these way more than others, and I'll tell you why I'm recommending each one specifically as I go to it. So the first one I want to talk about is actually one that cannot be found from the brand, but they do have a lot of these mobster type fragrances. So the one that I have here, just for the interest of having all originals on this list, this one is called Hangover with the Mobster. Now this was a limited edition and it was manufactured specifically for a New York City meetup event. And so everybody in attendance got a bottle of this stuff, and as you can tell, the liquid is really, really dark. Boozy, a little fruity. It has a little bit of like a tobacco nuance. I'm not sure if it's whiskey or cognac specifically as the booze of choice for this particular fragrance, but it smells awesome. You're not gonna find this one on the website. Like I said, there's a bit of a fruitiness in here as well. I was reminded when I just smelled the atomizer. You're not gonna find this on the website. However, somebody might be willing to part ways with it in one of the Facebook groups. I know there is a dedicated Facebook group for the Dua brand, but anyway, that's number 10. The next one I wanna talk about is Intimacy. So this has a fruity whiskey accord with some tobacco, amber, labdanum, resins, and an amber accord. This one is really, really good. It's a sweet amber. You have enough of that vanilla in here, but you also have this fruity cognac, or this fruity whiskey, pardon me. It's whiskey and not cognac. And again, as you can tell, very dark liquid, very ambery, very warm, a little bit on the sweet side, not overly sweet. You do have a lot of those woodsy and tobacco, some of the darker ingredients to really cut away that sweetness so it's not a gourmand or anything like that. But this one is really good. Again, this one with the metal plaque on the front is called Intimacy. The next one I want to talk about is actually inspired by the Harry Potter franchise. This one is called Butterbeer. So I don't think this actually has any boozy notes explicitly listed in the note breakdown. There is vanilla, there's cream soda. It's a very sweet gourmand fragrance, but it also has a bit of a boozy introduction. I don't know if that's the perfumer's alcohol coming into play or if it is another ingredient in here that is not specifically mentioned in the note breakdown, but it does have a bit of a boozy introduction, but it does sort of transition and evolve very quickly to that vanilla dry down. So if you're looking for something on the sweeter side of things, not as heavy with the tobacco and the oak and the resin, the amber, definitely try Butterbeer. Very versatile, and if you are a Harry Potter fan, I think this one is definitely worth checking out. The next one I want to talk about is called Intellect Attar. So this one, if I'm remembering correctly, has brandy in it. There is tobacco, there are some darker ingredients, and this one has a bit of a warm characteristic to it. It's not as sweet as Intellect, and as you can see, you're not going to get as much of that vanilla. So this one has some lighter colored liquid, and usually, especially with Madagascan vanilla, if you have some of the natural vanilla raw materials used in the composition, after a while, they can actually change the color of the liquid. They become this dark red sort of ambery color, and I have had this for a number of years now. Please note that a lot of the fragrances featured in this list have been around for a long time. I think the brand has gotten a lot better, especially with being more expressive and creative with their original creation, so you are going to see some new ones on this list as well. But definitely I have to pay tribute to some of the older fragrances that I've enjoyed in the years past. The next one I want to talk about is Dua Formula 007. This fragrance has a nice leathery backdrop. So this also has whiskey, if I'm remembering correctly. Oh man, but this one is very spicy. It has that leathery backdrop. I'm personally getting, and I don't even think this is in the note breakdown, I'm getting a blend between cardamom and saffron. The saffron is definitely there contributing to that leather accord, but the cardamom in here is also really nice too. This one actually reminds me a bit of PM by Fragrance de Bois. I believe this one came out first, so PM stands for Producer Michael. It has that sharp, dark, spicy sort of personality. It also reminds me of something that Memo Paris would put out. Dua Formula 007 if you're into some of the spicier boozy fragrances. And if I do get some of the specific boozy ingredients wrong, I do apologize. I'm trying to do my best to collect my thoughts here, and some of these I haven't worn in a few months. Some of them I wore as soon as 2 days ago, right? So the next one is called the Mohawk Cocktail. So I actually did a video on this one. It was a double feature that I had done fairly recently. So I'm not going to go at length, but this one does have some fresh citrusy and lemony nuances. So there's like this lemon wedge accord or something like that. It's very bright, very fresh, very citrusy. So this is more of a versatile, office-friendly, kind of a boozy fragrance. You're not going to smell like a Lush. You're not going to smell like you've been hitting the bottle. You are going to smell very classy, elegant, professional. And this is one that I think is great for every season, maybe with the exception of the winter time. If it gets really, really cold outside, chances are you want to reach for some of the heavier offerings like Intellect Tar or even Dua Formula 007. Some of these fragrances are definitely on the heavier side of things. The Mohawk Cocktail is not that heavy, all things considered. Of course, we also have Grilled Citrus Margarita. Of course, if you know margarita, it's a little sweet, it's a little fruity. If you get a salted rim, then it's a little salty, I suppose. But this one definitely has those citrusy elements to it as well. And for this fragrance, I would say it's more about the freshness and the citrusy nature than it is about the booze. So for this particular composition, it's easy to get distracted and to lose sight of that boozy accord that is in here. It's not as loud, it's not as explicit as some of their other boozy original creations. So this is just a really great, versatile, compliment-getting, office-friendly, mass-appealing, citrus-based fragrance. That's honestly the best way to put it. The next fragrance is very spicy, but not spicy in the sense of cardamom and saffron, actually spicy in the sense of cinnamon. So this one is called Oh So Fresh 2 One Night Stand. And this was also a collaboration with a YouTuber. I did a full review on this one as well. This one has a cinnamon fireball accord. So I don't know if you like that particular drink, Fireball. I know it's become quite popular. I've tried it before. I'm not in love with it, but this one is definitely the scented perfume version of that with a dry down that kind of reminds me of Angel for Men by Thierry Mugler. Kind of has like that warm caramel personality. This is a beautiful fragrance. Absolutely one that you must try. And the website I did check, they do have a lot of these in stock. So definitely try that. It's a great original creation, 100 ml bottle, extract the parfum concentration, very well done. Great collaboration. The one in the number 2 spot, I just like this one for the gourmand accents. Yes, there is rum in here, and the rum is boozy, a little spicy, but not in a cardamom, saffron kind of a way, right? So it's not a very spicy fragrance. It's more about the gourmand accents. This one is white hot chocolate and rum. Boy, I've done a video on this one too. This one is amazing. If you're looking for a fragrance that is amazingly versatile and definitely fits the bill for the fall and winter, this is it. This is the fragrance that comes in the number 2 spot. every time I smell it, I'm like, I want to wear it, right? Sometimes I have to remind myself, no, you're going to work. You don't want to smell like chocolate all day, but this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. If you're a fan of chocolate, there is another original creation that the brand has called A Chocolate Affair, but this one with a little bit of a boozy touch is fantastic. And the fragrance in the #1 spot, surprisingly, is a newer release. I really, really, really love the way that this fragrance smells. It does remind me of a more popular and more expensive fragrance, but this one actually does things in its own way. So it doesn't smell explicitly 100% like the other fragrance that I'm going to mention, but it does have some inspiration, if you will, from it. This one is called Salted Caramel Bourbon. This stuff is amazing. In terms of the bourbon and that boozy accord, it kind of reminds me a little bit of either Single Malt by Kilian Paris or Apple Brandy. One of those has this sort of boozy accord that is so beautiful, so delightful. And this just kind of has that warm, sultry, dulcet caramel personality that is so hard to resist. And this one is amazing. The performance is incredible. If I spray 10 or 20 different fragrances and I leave the room and I come back, this is the one that I'm going to smell leaps and bounds above everything else. The performance for this stuff is remarkable, and I don't think they have that many in stock. The last time I checked, and I do apologize for that, the last time I checked, I think they had like 30 something in stock, maybe a little above 30, but this stuff is incredible. One of the best fragrances that Dua has put out, and that includes both original creations and inspired expressions. Just that booziness added to the caramel and the warm sort of vanilla, delicious, dried down, very sensual, romantic, seductive, sexy, compliment worthy with a touch of mystery to it. Such an amazing fragrance. Oh, and you get the brand new cap that has the Dua brand engraved on top. Really snug fit. This stuff isn't going anywhere. And with the pressurized atomizer, should I try it? It's going to make my whole room smell like it. But all right, I might as well show you. You can control how much you want to spray. The caramel, you get that right away. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Salted Caramel Bourbon. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed these top 10 boozy original creations by the Dua brand. Definitely 10 boozy fragrances that you must try if you have the opportunity to check them out. Wow, it still smells really, really good here. I was saying, if you have the opportunity to check them out, drop your comment down below. I left all of the links down below, not affiliate links. I just want to make it easy for you guys. Thank you for joining me. If you learned something from today's video, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon and click where it says enable all notifications. This way you can be notified whenever I do drop a future video and I upload on the channel every single day. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.